I'm back. So it's been about 3 months now since I did my last video back in 2016, and I told you guys that I was taking a little bit of a break in preparation for 2017. So here I am, all refreshed and ready to go. If you don't know me, my name is Lisa and I am the owner of a company called Lisa Study Guides, also known as VCStudyGuides.com. And every Monday after school, I release videos about English, studying English, and also studying in general. So if you haven't subscribed yet, then definitely go ahead and do so, because I'm ready to roll. I will be back every single week for the rest of the year, and I've got heaps of new tips up my sleeve, new advice for you guys that you haven't heard of before, and I'm really excited to share them with you. If you wanted to know more about what I'm doing behind the scenes when I'm not YouTubing, including what I've been up to over the past few months, then go ahead and check out my second channel, which is more of a personal channel. I'm going to definitely kickstart that one for this year as well. I've got some really exciting things planned for it. Some of the things I want to include in there include more advice that's not necessarily studying related, but more about growing up, getting into adulthood, and some of the things that you should watch out for, and things that I would just like to pass on to you guys. And because I own my own company, I'd really love to impart some of the knowledge that I've learned along this entrepreneurial journey. And I know many of you out there want to become entrepreneurs one day, so there's no better space to share it with you than right here on YouTube. So anyways, let's get started with the first video of the year. I want to talk about surviving the VCE. So VCE is Victorian Certificate of Education, which is what Year 11s and Year 12 study in Victoria in Australia. If you live elsewhere and you have an equivalent, then use the same advice for whatever you're going to be studying, because I'm sure it's going to be applicable for you as well. Number 1. Think of it as a marathon, not as a sprint. Some students go into VCE with that incredible mindset of, I'm going to work really hard, I'm going to study every day, all day, every day again. And so while that is really motivating and it's inspiring, often these type of students burn out. And burnout is essentially when you're just over it. You're so overstudying, you can't do it anymore, and you're just simply tired of it and you have no energy left. And that's something that we don't want for you in your VCE, because VCE is really consistent. You have assignments throughout the year, you have things like SACs and exams. You have to keep up to beat with everything, and the only way to really be able to manage that is for you to think of VCE as a marathon. You can't start off with all of your energy, because if you do, then you'll run out halfway through or definitely towards the end. Whereas with a sprint, it's so short that you can just burst all of your energy into it. Prep it in your mindset so that you can extend and maintain your energy throughout your entire VCE. Number 2, having a limit to how much you study. Often we'll talk about study routines and how study routines are really important, but I think something else that's not really mentioned out there is something to tell you when to stop. Because have you ever had that experience where you have the entire day to study, and because you know you have the entire day, you just keep procrastinating, and suddenly it's after lunch and you think, oh, I'm just gonna fit in a TV show here, and then suddenly it's 5 p.m. and then 6 p.m. and then it's dinner time. So you think to yourself, I might just study after dinner. And then all of a sudden it's nighttime, and then you say, I'm pretty tired, I can do this tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go to bed. What happens when you set limits for yourself is that you give yourself a particular slot for studying. So let's just say, for example, every day you're going to do 2 hours of studying, and that's it. And you're going to try your best not to go over that. Now, the reason why this can work quite efficiently is because when you know you only have 2 hours to do everything that you need to do, it forces you to be a lot more productive and efficient with your time. You tend to do things that you need to prioritize first. So that maths test that's happening on Friday, you know you have to study that, and you're going to push out the science assessment that you have that's due in 3 weeks. Of course, if there was a period where you need to study extra, then definitely go ahead. But having a limit every single day should actually be able to prevent you from getting in those situations where you have that last minute study where you just need to cram as much as you can. in one night because you've done all the hard yard beforehand. Number 3, VCE itself is a journey. It is 2 years of your life and it is the final years of your schooling, which in itself is something really exciting and should require celebrations. And so you don't want to cram yourself in your bedroom studying all the time when you have so many fun activities that are going to be happening. You're going to have heaps of 18th parties. You're going to have formals or socials. You're going to have debutantes and whatever else that's happening. That there are a lot of things going on extracurricular wise that you should definitely pay attention to. So these are the type of things that are going to help with your stress relief and help prevent burnout, because your brain needs it. Your brain needs that break every now and then where you just don't think about study. And you're actually going to find that when you don't think about study for that entire night, the next day or the day after, you're going to feel so much more refreshed and ready to study because you haven't just been sitting there churning out essay after essay or doing maths questions the entirety of the night before. So please make sure you go ahead and enjoy all of those things. Number 4, you are not just a number. So heading into VCE, generally most people have a number in mind, a goal that they want to achieve that's going to be their ATA score at the end of it all. Whoa! Whatever that number is, sometimes it can become all-consuming and it is the only thing that you think about, and you're constantly calculating your SAC marks and your scores to see what type of ATA you're going to get. But whilst the number does show you how well you've done at school, it is not necessarily reflective of all the hard work that you've put in there. It is not necessarily reflective of all of the experiences that you've had throughout the year, and it certainly does not define you. I actually have a video about this, so I can link it in the description box below if you wanted to find out more about the ATA score and how it affects everyone in VCE. Keeping that in mind, my 5th and final tip is for you to always keep your goals in sight. So you're going to start off the year, write down a few goals that you have, whether it's just the ATA that you're after, or if it's the course that you want to get into at the end of it all, or if it's to make your parents proud and to make your friends proud, then write that down and stick it up somewhere. Because often as we go throughout the year, like I mentioned, sometimes it can feel a little bit like it's endless and you don't really see that finish mark. But it's okay if you can constantly remind yourself of why you're doing this and what purpose you have in it. And if you think of that higher goal, that bigger picture of everything, then it's going to make your VCE experience a whole lot better for you. Trust me on that one. So those are some of the tips that I have for your VCE. If you have other ideas in mind, then feel free to chuck them in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear what else you guys have to say, but hopefully some of the advice I've given you definitely resonate with you. One thing extra that I wanted to mention, because you guys are all starting school, and to share with you something that I've been working on throughout the summer, is our official English Essentials study guides that has been published by my company. So if you are heading into VCE, then definitely go ahead and check this out. I'll link it in the comments in the description below. But basically, if you didn't know already, the English syllabus has changed. There is a new study design. So we saw that with a lot of students out there, people won't know what's going on and people won't know what necessarily to study for. So we've jam-packed a lot of advice in 100 pages in this book. I'm really excited about this. I know that this study guide was created because we asked you guys exactly what you wanted in a study guide. So myself and 2 other tutors who are part of my team, their names are Viv and Anna, we've worked really hard on this study guide together, writing it in a way that's easy to understand, with heaps of sample essays in there, heaps of advice for you to actually apply to your own studies. And regardless of whatever books you're studying, this book is perfect for you because we pretty much cover all of this text in the syllabus. And if it's not specifically about your book, the advice is so general enough that you can apply it to whatever you're studying, even if you're in year 11. So definitely go ahead and check this out. The first batch is actually going to be sent out this week to everyone who has already pre-ordered. So thank you so much much for pre-ordering, guys. We cannot wait for this to really make a difference in the English studies of all of the VCE students who are out there. So that's pretty much it from me for this week. I'm so happy to be back for you guys. I cannot wait for all of the future videos that I'm going to be releasing every Monday after school. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. And until I see you guys next week, bye!